Go ahead and call the meeting, Marshall County Fiscal Court to order. Today's February 16th, 2016. Before we start with the agenda, I have a tendency to overlook this. We set up the admin code for tomorrow. We're going to have to cancel that and change that date. KCO is still looking at the administrative code. And we've got one more item that we have to finish. We sent it up in 2 sections. Anytime after March 1st, in between the 1st and the 15th, which is good for y'all.
How long are you talking about, Judge?
That's going to be lengthy.
Wow.
So it's going to be several hours.
So it's not a good day to do it after the court meeting on March 1st?
I wouldn't. I would say,
Okay,
what about the
definitely.
2nd or 3rd?
Just according to how you limit your comments, will determine how long it takes.
Why do you direct that at me?
No, I'm just, because you spoke, only because you spoke up, Doc, and no other reason, I promise.
It's, and this will also serve as the cancellation for tomorrow's meeting. But we should get that back from KCO by then. So I just want to check with your schedules. And we can even go out to the following week after the 1st, to the 7th, 8th, and 9th, if that week's better for your schedule.
I mean, I'm good with any of that. I am too.
You're good?
Second or third, either one.
The 2nd,
Second? That's Wednesday?
March 2nd, Wednesday, say 10 o'clock? Or you want to go earlier, 9 o'clock?
Anytime you want.
Let's make it 9, because it could potentially be a while. Okay, we'll get with the agenda. First on the agenda is Tim York.
Thanks, Judge. I'm here to present my annual settlement, calendar year 2015. I gave everybody a copy of this in their mailbox. For year 2015, we took in $9,761,870.48. We dispersed $9,544,593.02. That leaves excess fees of $217,277.46. I gave Emily, the county treasurer, a check for this Friday. I guess probably hadn't hit the bank yet since yesterday was a banking holiday, but she already has this check. It's better than last year. Revenues were up about $350,000 over what we did last year. It's not anything that I can control. It's just people maybe traded cars or mortgaged more land. You know, it's the kind of things that we do. We don't run sales or anything. It's just what happens. So our excess fees are up over last year about $15,500, and probably over the budget. I think we budgeted $175, but I usually try to be conservative when I budget what excess fees are going to be. So, any questions from you guys? Probably need a motion. Speaking, I was going to say need a motion subject to audit. The auditors have already been in and finished the motor vehicle part, which is 90% of the money we take in is the motor vehicle part. So they've already finished that part, and they'll be back hopefully before the end of April to do the fee part. So, all right,
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it, Tim.
Those monies end up where?
General fund. In the general fund. We had budgeted 175, and in the budget amendment today, you'll see the other 40,
Yeah, what that and change?
yes.
Okay. The next item is going to be under old business.
Need to
Or do you
accept
need a
the,
motion? Okay.
motion to accept
Entertain a motion.
the clerk's report.
Second.
Second.
Settlement.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is under correspondence. I've got a letter from Larry Witt addressed to the court. It's his resignation letter. I just want to read this on his behalf. Morris County Fiscal Court, effective today, 2016, I will be resigning as Morris County Park Director. We have made some great improvements over the past 5 years, and I have enjoyed the tenure at Mike Miller Park and Marsh County Day Use Parks. I would like to thank the Fiscal Court for the opportunity to serve this county in this role. A special thanks to the park employees, Jamie Bryan, Matt Calhoun, Clark Cox, Randy Henson, Tracy King, Blake Norwood, Doug Runkle, Brandon Wynn, Krista Garland, and I can't forget Barbara Parrish, who passed away January 2015. The park and my successor will be left in very good hands with this group of employees. I would also like to thank Judge Neal, Rick Koch, Johnny Bolin, Bob Gold, Jeff Edwards, and all county departments for their support in making our parks the best in the state of Kentucky. Once again, thank you for your support. Larry Witt, Morris County Park Director. Y'all have any questions?
It was my understanding that, I guess, they're already talking about maybe the concession. I didn't know if it was something we needed to discuss. They talked about going ahead and bidding out the concessions. That's something that we think it's a good idea, or that another director might be able to take and actually be a benefit to the park if they ran the concessions. I've talked to one board member, and he didn't think that that it was as good as we had possibly thought in the past, but I don't know if somebody's gonna could make money off of it, we could too.
Yeah, the numbers, actually Larry had showed me some numbers, and it depends on the season. If it's a rainy season, then obviously concessions can be low, and if it's a good season with a lot of tournaments, and the concessions can be good. I think that we'll probably get further into other discussions in executive session.
Okay.
But I agree that there needs to be some discussion on the future and the direction of that park.
Okay.
You know, when we met with him, talking about that land acquisition, that was one of his points, that they had, a lot of that money in the bank was from concessions, so I hate to give it up if it's.
Right. The numbers that he showed, it also had in, and if it's a good season, there's money to be made in the concessions. But if it's not if the weather's bad for that year, it can cost the county. But it definitely needs to be looked at.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah, but by contracting that out, the county still gets a percentage of those funds
Yeah.
that come in, and I saw the same figures that the judge saw, and the thing of it is, the county pays the employees, out of the general fund, the employees that work in the concession stand, but yet the concession stand doesn't reimburse the general government for that. So by the time you figure all that in, the $13,000 for that,
Spent.
it's not a nickel's worth of difference depending on the weather, so.
Right.
Which I didn't understand that until I saw it on paper, but.
So, yeah, I agree. We need to talk about that more in detail. Let's see. We'll move on to old business. Approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. New business. It's going to be World Bow Fishing Championship sponsor. Bob, you want to talk about this?
Well, this is I guess previously we had committed, they're going to be 5 bow fishing tournaments come to Aurora, that'll be going out of the community park there. They started a few years ago with one and then two and three, and so they've got it up to five now. The World Fishing Tournament, it comes in just ever so often. We can't get it every year, but it was 3 years ago, I believe, it was here, and they had a record number of boats participated and team members participated, 73 at that time. That's a four-man team, so there's a lot of people that come into the county because of these. They're just a little different. They're not as sexy as bass tournaments and such, but they kind of have a dual role. They bring people into the county to spend their money, and they also reduce the invasive species that are threatening our lakes and rivers. It's my understanding we committed at one time, they bid on these. They basically bring these before the board, and you generally have someone that champions that for you, and anything you can do as a community to add to your community as a whole to help the tournament, that helps your bid. And so we had committed $500, I think, to go into their fund for tournament fees, or not tournament fees, but prizes. And that was all. I would just, that's now come to the head. It'll be in April this year. And the others, they'll start actually as early as March 19th or 20th, but the World will be April.
16, 17.
Yep.
Yep.
And so anyway, I was going to move that we support this with that $500 donation to their prize fund.
It was discussed during budget workshops that, in that line item, that we would.
Support that. I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And I know I'm sure that they're advertising this. I would even advocate if there's individuals out in the community that want to sponsor that as well. That's a great opportunity.
Yep, that would be fine. We have a little different group. The Ladies Auxiliary for the Oro Ross Fire Department had started supporting that through actually using it as a fundraiser and coming up there and having everything from snacks to sandwiches for sale. And that group has kind of spun off into the Community Park Committee. I'm not sure exactly the name, but they're going to continue to support that in that way. And I can tell you that the feedback from the participants is excellent for our area, for the fishing, for the hospitality, and everything. It really is.
Good. Next on the agenda, to 2015 fee settlement of the Marshall County Sheriff's Office.
Forgive me, I'm a little tired today. I've had a long night and day. This is a 2015 fee settlement for the Marshall County Sheriff's Office. We had receipts that totaled $1,941,247.78 and disbursements of $1,730,738.91. And excess fees of $210,508.87, which I have a check to give to the court, which will make a zero balance for 2015 for the sheriff's office. And I think everybody got a copy of this?
Entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve the sheriff's settlement subject to audit.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda, payment of fees of the Sheriff's Office for the month of January to the Fiscal Court.
We sort of borrowed, stole, whatever you want to call it, from McCracken County and kind of made it our own as far as the receipt for bookkeeping purposes. But for the month of January, total revenues was $8,352, and I have a check for the.
The, in your packets, Commissioners, I put in there, because we're going to be getting into budget talks later in the year. There are two items there. I just want to show the court the fee offices of the clerk
For Desiree?
under FY. For the fee offices, we're now fee pulling the sheriff's office, but it just breaks down the total expense for the county, for those offices. And I think it's important that we look at those numbers now before we go into budget talks, so that you can see where we're currently at for the total amount of money that it costs to run those two offices. The one thing that is different with the clerk's office is obviously the fringe compared to the sheriff's department. There's no fringe. That's just for your information, so that you can see that. I think that we can improve, or at least take a look at that. I know the sheriff and Maddox are gonna come and sit down with me and Brad. We'll go into detail on that. The total cost to the county for the clerk's office is actually in the positive 480.14. And then for the sheriff's department, it's actually in the negative 1,041,247.37. So I wanted to put that out there, so when it comes to budget time, when we start negotiate, or actually talking about these numbers, you'll be aware of what we're actually talking about. Any questions on that? Next on the agenda is the 2016 cost of living increase for elected officials. Emily, you want to go over that?
We got the cost of living adjustments for the statutory offices of judge, clerk, sheriff, and jailer. Usually, we pass along that same cost of living to all elected officials. But it does require a motion to do so.
Entertain a motion to approve cost of living allowance.
Where is
Did you
that?
get that?
Yeah, I got it somewhere. I saw it a while ago. I just can't find it now.
It's just in your new business.
Okay.
Just-
Okay.
Keep folding over.
Okay.
It'll finally come
I
up.
saw it a while ago. I just didn't see.
What do you need, Emily, on just the officials per the chart as one and the other?
Yes,
I
please.
move we do the cost of living adjustment for the elected officials per the chart.
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
We don't need to act on the non-chart elected officials or just the elect-
You have to if you're going to take that increase.
Okay, yeah, okay, well, I thought the motion was for elected officials.
It was
is.
for
We
elected.
do elected officials January 1, and then all other county employees, we do July 1.
Okay,
July.
okay.
And
That's-
I
I
think
just
I
wanted
failed
to-
to say the rate. It's 0.7295%.
I thought we always did the non-chart, those separate.
July.
The other item on new business, ordinance 2016-02, budget amendment, first reading.
Ordinance 2016-02, an ordinance relating to the annual budget and amendment thereof, whereas the County of Marshall has received additional funds, now be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Marshall County that Section 1, the annual budget for fiscal year 15-16 is amended to county sheriff's fee pooling, $335,000, payroll reimbursements, $500,000, sheriff's excess fees, $210,500, bank shares, $3,800, clerk's excess fees, $42,250, judges' pay refunded, $3877.52, FEMA disaster relief, $47,291, GIS fees, $2,867.28, surplus equipment, $2,751. Insurance proceeds, $7,910.68. Insurance reimbursement, $8261.49. Port Authority, $3,472.61. Surplus equipment for the road fund, $5898.85. Parts refund, $6,400. Contract with other counties for the jail, $11,000. Water Vision 2020 project, $6,663.38. In interest to the occupational tax fund, $3,500, for a total of increased revenue of $1,201,443.81. These are offset by the expense accounts for Sheriff's Office advertising, $750. Sheriff's Office technology, $8,800. Deputy expenses, $15,000. Office supplies, $17,000. Office bond, $1,000. County administrative expenses, $1,700. Auto expenses, $108,838.30. Office phone, $65.50. Out-of-county travel, $14,000. Transport expenses, $37.50. Dues, $1,100. Sheriff's salary, $47,300. Sheriff's deputy salaries, $241,600. Sheriff's clerks, $30,300. Court security officers, $77,400. Sheriff's employees overtime, $48,600. Sheriff's incentive pay, $32,500. Ambulance service repairs, $1,073.19. Judges pay refunded, $3877.52. Surplus sales to rescue squad, $2,751. Mercer County Sanitation District Number 2 loan, $20,000. Software acquisition, $50,000. Courthouse repairs, $20,000. General fund reserves, $414,091.57. Parts, surplus equipment sales for the road fund, $5898.85. Parts refund, $6,400. Jail office supplies, $2,000. Jail food, $4,000. Jail medical care, $5,000. Water Vision 2020 project, $6,663.38. And occupational tax reserves, $3,500, for a total increased expenditure of $201,443.81. Section 2, the amounts added to the revenues and expenditure account in Section 1 are for governmental purposes. Approved by the Fiscal Court the 16th day of February for the first reading.
Emily, that, in the expenditures, the general fund reserves, does that get us off the $1,500? Are we adding $414,000 to reserve?
Yes, a lot of that reserve comes directly from the payroll reimbursement.
Right.
From
But it is
where
going into reserve.
it is, but I need to carry that reserve over into next budget year to, help carry the sheriff through that. This is moving those funds that were in the payroll fund to help carry his payroll into the general fund. So because we're only needing to budget through June 30th for the sheriff's office instead of the whole calendar year, I need to put it in reserves for right now.
Clear as
It's-
mud.
Yeah.
I know. I need to move it this year because it's
So it's
foolish.
not in reserve then?
Yes, it will be, but it's not an actual reserve that you're gonna see next year too. It's gonna be eaten up in payroll in next year's budget. So the money that is in the payroll fund, that I'm gonna move out of the payroll fund into the general fund, is for a whole calendar year's worth of the sheriff's payroll. I'm only needing to budget through June 30th. So that money that I'm moving that's gonna be for July through December is gonna drop into reserves for the time being. The next budget year, you'll see an increased amount in the sheriff's payroll that will offset that being in reserves this year.
So we're right back to the $1,500 in reserves, basically.
After this is approved, we will then put back about 120,000 that we used to float the sheriff's budget until we adopted this, till this was approved. Following this approval, I'll put that 120,000 back into reserves, that is actual reserves.
Yeah, that's when I asked previously about the two checks we just received, both totaling $200,000, about where that goes in the general fund. Does that go in reserve or does that go in a line item?
Part of it's gonna go in reserves, but the rest of it is also being distributed throughout the sheriff's budget that we are taking in now. So
That's the sheriff's. What about the clerks?
the
I was
clerks
talking
is
about them both.
distributed throughout all of these as well.
We're just going to increase those line items or not put any in reserve? Is that,
I'm not sure I'm following that question.
well, you said we're going to put it in these other line items. These other line items have already been budgeted. You're just going to increase those other line items, or are you going to?
Yeah.
I was
this-
just wondering if any of it was going in reserve.
All of this in the revenue section is feeding all of this in the expense section, so that's where it's all going. So part of it, a great deal of it is going into reserves, because it's 414,000. An amount for sure that's going into reserves, that is real reserves, is that FEMA, that's $47,291. That is, I really love FEMA because it's already prior year money spent, so now
Right.
it goes into reserves and we can,
It's a
Hold on to it.
one-time gift, kind of a
Yes.
guess what, whatever they
Yes.
want to pay you.
yes, so there is some of that
That
amount
happened
that is going into reserves, that's actual reserves, but until we get next year's budget ready, it's gonna be hard to see. I
Yeah,
apologize for that, but it's just the way it is.
yeah. And that's one of the FYI sheets, I gave you that information, because when we start getting into the budget talks, I think it's gonna, that mud should clear up a little bit.
Less muddy,
Yeah.
or not clear, just
Not
less muddy.
clear. Next on the agenda, intra-fund transfer.
I'm asking to move 100,000 from occupational tax administrator to the jail fund. Budgeted subsidy.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Next on the agenda, treasurer's report.
Payroll accounts receivable.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Payroll,
there's-
yeah, payroll accounts
Yeah,
receivable.
there's
report.
nothing, and I believe this, I just noticed this report has an error on it. It says as of January 31st, 2016, but then it says 2015 underneath it. It is for January 31st, 2016. There is nothing due to the payroll fund.
Entertain a motion to accept.
Accept the payroll fund report.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Now we'll do the treasurer's report.
As of January 31st, 2016, the general fund has a book balance of $1,117,563.62. Road fund, $265,836.80. Jail fund, $12,138.73. Grant fund, $3,588.16. 911 fund, $34,277.90. Occupational tax administrator, $2,446,438.84. Veterans Van Fund, $2,865.21. ABC Fund, $5,450.57. Building Inspection Fund, $11,480.10, for a total reporting funds of $3,899,639.93.
Entertain a motion to approve, subject to audit.
Accept the treasurer's report, subject to audit.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Next on the agenda, approve payment of the bills.
Motion to pay the bills, Judge.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. At this point, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session for personnel and one property.
So moved, Judge.
All those,
Second.
all those in favor say aye. Any opposed, motion carries.
Hey everybody, this is Randy Green, and I'm coming over here to Leon Riley Ford today looking at some pretty new vehicles. I picked the best salesman out of the bunch. He's not the prettiest, but the best I could find. This is Dandy Joe Halls.
We're going to start with a crossover today. This is the Ford Edge, and it's newly designed. The #1 selling crossover in the United States. Good gas mileage, 24 miles per gallon, and they're just a very good vehicle. This is the all-new Ford pickup, aluminum body. Makes it weigh about 800 pounds less than it did last year. 22 miles per gallon on the highway. Voted Truck of the Year 2 years ago. It's got lots of horsepower.
I'm sorry, I can't hear we can't even talk. What is that noise over there, John?
What you're hearing is Ford horsepower.
Well, you're gonna have to cool our jets just a little bit so we can finish this commercial, okay?
Call Marshall County Fiscal Court back to order. Go ahead, make a motion, entertain a motion to confirm the termination of Kip Hutchinson for workplace policy violation.
So moved, Judge.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Entertain a motion to fill the position for Assistant Animal Shelter Director. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and make a motion, then we'll go into discussion on that if you need to.
Motion to fill that position, Judge.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Discussion? We did, for that position, we actually did interviews. Had about 8 applicants. It was put in the paper for the position, and Deputy Judge Warning and Autumn, the director down at the animal shelter, with a volunteer, had actually held the interviews, and Jonathan Smith, born 1980. He's a dispatcher there at 911, is who we identified to fill that position. We want to, I guess since we took a motion, do we want to vote on that employment being offered to him?
Accept the recommendation of Deputy Judge Executive in the review committee or interview committee. I'll put that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Let's see, another motion, accept or entertain a motion to allow me to sign a letter from Shelton and Height dated January 18, 2016 regarding, it'll be agreed upon procedures.
Make that motion, Judge.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Make a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Judge.
Second.
Dies for lack of a second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.